Today, we set forth on a journey to the wild interior of Britannia on Let's Play Ultima 4. You will have noticed that we've been getting a lot of people telling us that we should go talk to various individuals who live near Loch Lake, which is this basically unreachable lake towards the middle of Britannia. And today, we are going to be trying our best to reach that in our new boat, because it's just a little easier that way. First thing is I am going to the Shrine of Compassion because I am ready for elevation there. It is entirely possible to get to the Shrine of Compassion walking over land. It's just across a couple of bridges to the... Oh, Cyclops are out now. Let's see if I can get into a combat with one of those. I don't care about that rogue, though. Okay, I only have a range of 3 on my boat cannons, I think. There we go. No? Okay, we'll do this. I'll take your money if you insist. Alright, let's fight this Cyclops here. Get my monster notes here out here. I did not expect the next phase of monsters to be coming out yet. So, Cyclops have 128 HP. They do up to 14 damage, and they give you 9 EXP. Right? Yes. And they do have a ranged attack, which you just saw there because I waited too long. But the way it works is, after you've taken 10,000 steps, I think, that's when a new group of monsters starts showing up, including these things. There's nothing too exciting about them. They are obviously evil. So, let me see. Where do I want to dock to get to the shrine? Just checking my map really quickly here. Yeah, right to the side of this bridge should be fine. So, the main reason I'm taking my boat here instead of just walking is just to avoid those swamps around the bridge there. I'd have to walk through those to get to the bridge. But the shrine, we've been told, is over to the east of Britain, and it is in this mountain pass here. There it is. So, as before, you'll see there I am over 10,000 moved, which is why that Cyclops showed up for me. As before, I will save outside the shrine, go through all the rounds of meditation that I can. I'll probably skip past most of this. And the mantra, if you've forgotten, is Mu, M-U. So there's the one cycle message that you get. We already knew that. Don't hit people. Thanks, game. Okay, and we learn, of course, that we can gain our compassion by giving to beggars. Again, if we're here elevating, we should already know that. And here is our actual elevation in the virtue of compassion. Whee! As before, we get shown a thing here, whatever it is. Do not forget what that is. It's a little unclear, but that's actually the rune for N. Alright, I'm gonna move on in just a moment here. And here, for what it's worth, is the third message you would get from the Shrine of Compassion. And I did not know that. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. We knew that we need the Candle of Love to get into the Abyss, I suppose. I suppose it's the third item we use or something? Eh, whatever. Alright, now that I've got all my business at the shrine out of the way, let's see about finding our way to someplace around Lock Lake that has people to talk to. So what I'm actually going to do here is use one of my viewing gems to see what's in the area. Not like that. Of course, you don't view a gem, you peer at a gem. So you can see over to the left side there, that's the inlet we came up where that Cyclops was. You actually cannot sail into Lock Lake, which you see as the water at the top of the map there, because you can't sail under that bridge, and even if you could, there are shallows all along that river. But you can barely make out there is a dot over there in the river to the east side of the map, and that is the town we're trying to get to. So what I'm going to actually do is use a blink spell to go directly east from one of the tiles on the way to the shrine here. So you can kind of barely see that what I want to do is be right next to the top mountain on the left side of the pass there that I came through. So let's see what we can do about that. If I'm reading my map, this is where I should be standing. In fact, let me check my off-screen map and verify that. Yes, this is the best place to do it, I think. And I need to look up the reagents for the blink spell too here real quick. Blink is silk and blood moss, got it. So one should be enough for now. Now, the way Blink works is you choose a direction, and it tries to take you a random number of squares in that direction. I'm not sure what the range on the number is, but if the square it picks randomly is a place you can't stand in, the spell ends up failing. I think it may choose several squares to see if it can find one before it fails. I'm not sure exactly, but I want to go east, and that should take me right here to this little water-locked place with a village in it. So, let's see what's in here. This is the Village of Cove, apparently. Sounds like a covey place. So, let me look at my map here. Is there anyone south of me? Yes, there are. I think I'll go there shortly thereafter, though. Let's talk to these people first. Here's a druid named Frontis. As with the people in the grove at Empath Abbey, he wants to know if we're well, which we're pretty good. Yay! Cove is the hidden city of wisdom. I guess it was kind of hidden. Oh, for what it's worth, if he will actually tell you that there are healers in town if you tell him you're not healthy. It's a little more relevant than some of the Grove people. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it. He does mean a shrine other than just the Shrine of Compassion that's nearby, by the way. This is an old druid named Brother Zare, who sits and watches the river. That's fine. Yep, that is what they do. No, I don't agree. Sometimes rivers stop flowing. Just look up the Indus River. But he just says indeed. He's skeptical. Anyway, the main reason he's here, we were told by someone else named Zare in Pause, I think, that we should look for his brother in Cove and ask about the Word of Power, I think, right? Word? And we learn that the kings of the castles, which represent the three principles, each know one syllable of the word of the passage. So we need to go to all the castles and ask the king of those castles about the word, basically. Which unfortunately means we need to go all the way back to Empath Abbey again just to do that, but I'll take care of that later. So that's why he's here. What's up there? Okay, if I go around this little lake up here, there are a couple of people. We take care of them. Wizard named Mentorian, who is doing pretty well, and studies magic, as you might expect. What does he say if you disagree? Yes, I disagree. Magic is entirely made up, including the spell that took me here. Sure. Bye. I think someone told us to ask him about the gate spell by now. I don't recall who, but... But if we ask about the gate spell, he will tell us the reagents for it. Ash Pearl and Mandrake Root. What the gate spell does is it takes you to whatever the current destination of the moons is, which might be vaguely useful sometimes. I don't use it, but it might be a way to travel around quicker. I'll think about it and see if there's some time where it might be relevant. But you see these mountains, and as you might expect, there is a secret person in here. And it's a kid. Okay. So why are you hiding over here, then? I don't know. How do you enter the Abyss? By ship. I think I already knew that. It's kind of on an island, but whatever. Since he's ambiguous, I will not consider myself to be lying if I say yes, because he will give me other information. We don't currently have a magically strengthened hull. We will later, but I'll take care of that when we get to it. We learned that someone named Blissful knows about the Abyss. I don't think we get told this directly, but the reason why you are supposed to have a magically strengthened hull to get to the Abyss is that the way to get to it does force you through a lot of automatically spawned pirate ships who will be shooting cannons at you constantly and annoyingly. And if your hull isn't strengthened, you'll have some troubles with that. The Seahorse actually talks to you. And her name is Blissful, the person we were just told about. And she also knows about the Codex, so tell me about that. And the Shrine Ankh knows how to enter it. As with most of them, Ankhs talk to you. I don't think she says anything else there, because her other keyword is Abyss. I don't know why we need that little bit of indirection here, but whatever, there it is. That's what we saw at the Shrine of Compassion earlier. Each of those 3 shrines, their 3-cycle message actually is a somewhat critical message about the order in which you use the artifacts of the principles in order to enter the Abyss. So we've learned that the Candle of Love is the 3rd item. The other 2 we'll have to figure out later, which we could do through process of elimination, but whatever. Over here, we find a bunch of people standing around a campfire. Let's see what they have to say. Shaman the Mage studies the one thing that is the secret to the Codex, okay. Which is more endless than the changing tides, more eternal than day and night. He has another keyword, right? A? A? Wow. He actually doesn't do that. Oh, because his other keyword is... Are you a stud? No, he studies the Codex. Yeah, and he just doesn't have a question to ask you. Here is a mage named Spellbind. As with the others, she's thinking about the Codex. One must know the combination of the 3 principles of virtue, which is The measure of time and space. Okay. If they're not clear, the combination of the three principles is the same thing as the one pure axiom that they're pondering. Here's Circe, who is actually a boy, apparently. Interesting. Whatever. He also teaches about the axiom that all algorithms are universal and valid. No, that's something else. I probably already made that reference anyway. The whole of the axiom is greater than all its parts. Oh, okay. The measure of unending love, the limitless courage needed to face all obstacles, and the truth which encompasses all things. And a sorceress, not a mage, named Charm. Ponder Stibbins? No, that's something else. Yes, I figured. The one pure axiom encompasses all things. Sounds like a sales pitch, but whatever. And that is kind of the only dialogue in the game, by the way, that really hints terribly directly at what the one pure axiom is. There's other information that you can piece together, but that's honestly the main thing. What does it all mean? We will have to find out much later. There is a person down here that you saw on this little bit of land. The quickest way to get to him, minimizing your chance of poison, is to walk through the bottom here. Slowly. Yay! Because that way you only have to walk through one tile of swamp instead of two going through the top. Here is an old hermit named Sloven. We were actually told about this person by one of the pubs that he knows about Nightshade, I think. He's a recluse, which is kind of like a hermit. Yes, that is generally what that means. Which is why he's living in a village. Fair enough. But we're supposed to ask him about Nightshade. Right? No. Okay, we're supposed to ask him about the White Stone. And we learn that there is a ghost named Isaac who haunts the inn at Scarabrie, whom I have not seen. Okay, good to know. So at some point I'll have to go back over to Scarabrie to see if I can get that to happen. That's fine. And I'm gonna leave town and come back in so I don't have to walk through that swamp again. So I believe that's everyone on the west half of town. So I'll cross this giant bridge. Is this down here, the healer, right? Here is a wise man named Rabindranath Tagore. I did actually look this guy up at one time. I think the name is a reference to an Indian poet of some kind. I know nothing about the person beyond that, and I don't think it's terribly relevant to his dialogue, but he speaks of love. Do I seek to carry love in my heart? Well, the goal of my quest is to do so, and he doesn't say anything too interesting other than, "You're a fool," if you say no, so sure. I do my best. It's his whole dialogue, right? Oh. Alright, I'll do that. Thanks, game. Don't need any healing, and you're not going to give me the chance to donate because I'm kind of weak, so that's fine. There's another mage over here named Merlin. So that's where he's been hiding all this time. I guess, insofar as I look it up in the manual. He doesn't say anything interesting if I say no, right? Okay. And he's actually someone we're supposed to ask about the Blackstone, I believe. So he says it's caught by a moongate. And which one? So where the gate of both moons dark appears, we search. Got it? What he's referring to is basically when both moons are in the new moon phase, we would search that moon gate after stepping into that square. The moon gate that appears when the left moon is dark is the one in Moonglow. So we'll have to go over there and look for that at some point. Okay, there are 2 people over here that I missed. A bard named Paul. Okay. Ah. His health is well. And he plays of love. Sure, let's hear you talk about love. About love. Okay. Well, that's what we're looking for, yes. Can you tell me something about the candle? Okay, I'm also looking for the one true axiom. Can you tell me about that? I think that's all he says. Whatever. Here's a singer. Her name is Linda. And she sings of children. Well, whatever you like. I'm not too fond of them. As established before, Shelby is proudly child-free. Yes, it's terrible. All their running around and screaming and dirtying and interfering with people holding 18-plus events freely. Okay. If you say no, which is probably my response, she'd just say, huh. So, we'll say yes, because she at least has a slightly more interesting line of dialogue. I'm pretty sure they are supposed to be a reference to Paul and Linda McCarthy, and they're quoting song lyrics there. I do not know the songs in question, so I cannot further comment on that. There's nothing outside the there is something outside the shrine. There's someone up here. Hello, other druid in the mountains. Named Draconian. Oh, I get it. Draconian Justice. Thanks, game. Alright, you don't seem like a very friendly person, but that's fine. No, I did not know about your job until I asked you. I think his dialogue is a little out of the order there, actually. Because when you actually ask him about the relation, he explains what we saw before in Empath Abbey, that there are 8 combinations of the 3 principles, each one is one of the virtues, including the combination of none of them at all. So, we know that. And I think if you say that you knew that already, he just says good. Very good. Okay. So, that's what he says. As you might expect, the Town of Wisdom, the hidden Town of Wisdom, does actually have some fairly plot-critical information to give to you if you hadn't figured it out already. Which is why so many various people have been directing you to come here. So I don't think there's anything to do other than talk to the Ankh at this point. There's nothing behind the shrine for what that's worth. So here's an Ankh. Its name is just the Ankh. That's fine. And its job is to resonate thoughts again. Sure. Well, given what everyone's been talking about, I'm looking for a candle of love, I hear, so tell me about love. No? Tell me about the candle. What am I supposed to ask you about? We are supposed to talk to it about the Codex Chamber. Yes. You're not a gargoyle, are you? Well, we'll learn more about that later. Like 2 sequels from now. But, By actually following that line of dialogue, we find that in order to get into the Codex Chamber, we need to be 8 parts Avatar. As you might expect, you need to have a key of 3 parts. You must know the Word of Passage and the Pure Axiom. So, fair enough. I think they're leaving out one thing. There are those Virtue Stones that we're supposed to be looking for as well. Although I think we've also learned at this point that we need those stones to get the key of 3 parts, so it kind of follows, but yeah. Anyway, that kind of summarizes the overall goals of the game there, just in case you hadn't figured it out already. And if you look closely, there's a secret passage over here, through the fire. And this looks suspicious, and indeed, if you search here, you find the Candle of Love, which is the thing we came for. How's our experience looking? Okay, 1600. I should probably go back to the castle and level after that, then. And heal, for that matter. So, that's all I'm gonna do for right now. I'll make a quick run back to Lord British's castle, I think, and heal up there. And then I'll probably proceed to the rest of the castles. Oh, I should probably mention that if you want to get out of here, you'll need to mix another blink spell and cast it to the west. And sometimes it fails. Might be a little easier from here. There we go. Not sure where we ended up exactly, but... oh, there we are. Of course, the boat's over there, on the other side of the swamp, whatever. Oh, here's something else I haven't shown off yet. Combat with bridge trolls. In fact, I don't think I've shown trolls at all yet. Trolls have 96 hit points. They give you 7 experience points, and they do up to 14 damage. They have a ranged attack, as you just saw there. And anytime you walk over a bridge, there is a small chance that you will get into an automatic combat with trolls. Which is actually not a terrible way of grinding XP, or gold, or whatever. It's also possible to get stuck in a bridge and keep having those combats, but happily it did not happen to me this time. And I even got all the way through the swamp. Okay. Now I'm going to get back on my boat and head back to Lord British's castle, heal, and then go explore the other 2 castles of the principals. Next time on Let's Play Ultima 4.